algorithm and matrix, right? And then guys, what we have learned, right? So in that we have discussed what is algorithm, right? So algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve the different kinds of problems, right? So we saw one example of real-time problems. Suppose we want to make a chocolate cake, then we require the input, that is ingredients. We require a process, that is a recipe, and it will gives you output, right? So here the recipe or process is the algorithm, right? Now, and the biggest sense of transfer the input into the output. The definition of algorithm process will follow to achieve desired output, especially by the computer, right? So an algorithm will be input for any higher level programming language, right? So an algorithm to solve any and convert the use of any higher level programming language, convert that algorithm a program, right? And gives out to the program and right. See that an algorithm is any computational procedure, some or a set of value as input and produce some value as output. Then we saw different characteristics of algorithm: finiteness, definiteness, infiniteness, right? Algorithm. So recursive algorithm, backtracking algorithm, divide and conquer algorithm, dynamic programming algorithm, greedy algorithm, branch and bound algorithm, brute force algorithm, intermediate algorithm. Right? Then we start with the mathematics of algorithmic sets. Right? So what is set? A set is an unordered collection of distinct objects. Right? The objects in a set are called elements or members of the set. Right? So here you can represent set in different manner, right? So this is the one example, right? All the set names present by the capital letters, right? And all the elements in the set are separated by the comma and enclosed with the curly brackets, right? So this is known as roster notation. Next, we can represent this. This is known as set builder notation. Capital letters for set name, right? Then we can represent the elements of set such like this: x, such that x is an odd integer greater than 1. So in this set, all the numbers which is greater than 1, right, and all the odd numbers are the members of this particular set, right? So in this way we can represent the set also. It is known as set builder notation, right? Now next is finite set and infinite set, right? Fixed number of elements are there, so it is known as finite set. Otherwise, it is infinite set, right? Then set for two set A and C, we set of A if all the member of C is also the member of A, right? Then proper subset, the proper subset for subset and proper subset, we so these two examples, right? If proper subset means if set A is a subset of A that is not equal to A, right? બંને જો સેમ નહીં હોય, બંનેના એલિમેન્ટ્સ બધા એલિમેન્ટ્સ જે C ના એલિમેન્ટ છે બધા એલિમેન્ટ જો A ના એલિમેન્ટ નહીં હોય, right? Then it is proper subset અને B ના જેટલા પણ એલિમેન્ટ્સ છે that are similar to A's all element, then it is called as sub. Right? Next is power set. One second. Okay. Now next is power. Uh, if take one set A, right? Then power set for that A is A is equals to 0, 1. Then power set of A is null 0, 1, 0, 1, right? Set of all subsets. This is known as power set and it is represented by P of A, right? Then cardinality of sets, right? So cardinality set represent like NS or S, right? Cardinality of set denotes number of elements in a set. કાર્ડિનાલિટી મીન્સ શું કે એ સેટમાં કેટલા મેમ્બર છે એનો જે નંબર છે that is known as cardinality of set, right? Now complement. Complement means the complement of set element of the universal set but not in, right? Suppose there is one universal set U. Universal set U, right? And A is a set, right? So A નો complement શું થશે જે A ના મેમ્બર નથી but U ના મેમ્બર છે, right? So that is complement of A and it represents A dash, right? Now next is union operator, right? So A union B, right? Consider the set A 1 3 5 7 9 and B 1 2 3 4 5, right? So A નું union શું થશે જે A ના પણ મેમ્બર છે અને B ના મેમ્બર છે A and B, right? So that is A sorry A or B, right? A union means A or B, right? A na member છે or U na B na member છે, right? So that will become the union of their two sets, right? Then intersection. Intersection means જે A ના પર member છે અને B ના પર member છે. A ના member છે પણ B ના member નથી, so that is not part of the A intersection B, right? So this is A intersection B, right? Then set difference, right? So for two set A and B, the set of elements that are in A but not in B. So A minus B means એનો આન્સર શું આવશે જે A ના મેમ્બર છે પણ B ના મેમ્બર નથી, right? So that is A set A difference B, right? Then symmetric difference means it is A minus B union B minus A. So that is known as symmetric difference, right? So બંનેમાં જે common નથી એના સિવાયના elements છે that will be symmetric difference between two sets, right? Then we saw the sequence, then tuples, then Cartesian product, right? Cartesian product A cross B is equals to A comma B such that A is a member of A and B is a member of B. So that is the Cartesian product, right? Then we saw the relation, right? So definition of relation is the relation R is a collection for the set S which represent the pair of elements, right? Now we stopped here in last lecture, right? So first property of relation R on set S is reflexive, right? So what is reflexive? Let A be a set and let R be a binary relation on A. Relation R is reflexive if for every X is a member of A such that X comma X belongs to relation R, right? So for that we see one example. Is equals to 1 comma 2, right? And relation R1 is equals to A comma B such that A or lesser equals to B, right? So any subset na members kya છે 1 and 2 અને relation શું છે A comma B, but value of A is always lesser equals to B, right? So any relation R1 ના members કયા કયા થશે 1 comma 1, 1 comma all the possible combination of 1 and 2, right? But value of A must be less or equals to B, right? So kaya kaya thase 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 2, right? Now here 1 comma 1, 2 comma 2, right? So this condition is fulfilled. X comma X is a member of R, right? For every X, right? For 1 and 2, 1 1 and 2 2 is a member of relation R1. So this relation R1 is known as reflexive relation, right? This relation R1 is known as reflexive relation. Now see the second example, right? Here X is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, right? And X is a element of B, so X is the element of A, right? Now relation is 1 1, 1 2, 2 1, 2 2, 3 3, right? So for every X, X comma X is a member of R? No, because 3 comma 3 is not member of R2, right? So this relation is not reflexive relation because 3 comma 3 is not the member of R2, right? Now see the second property, so that is symmetric, right? A relation R on a set A is called symmetric if Y comma X is a member of R whenever X comma Y is member of R. For some X comma Y is a member of A, right? For every X and every Y, X comma Y is a member of R such that Y comma X is a member of R, right? So let us see with the example. Consider two sets. Consider one set A is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, right? And relation R1 is A comma B such that A not equals to B, right? So relation na subset kaya kaya thase A comma B, પણ A ની value B ની value થી same નહીં થવી જોઈએ, right? So 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, right? But 1 comma 1 is not the part of the relation R1 because જો 1 comma 1 કરીએ તો A અને B બંનેની value same થઈ જાય, right? So 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2, right? So these are the members or elements of relation R1, right? Now here 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 1, right? Then same way 1 comma 3 and 3 comma 1, right? And 2 comma 3 and 3 comma 2, right? So we can say that this relation is symmetric relation, right? This relation is symmetric relation because this condition is fulfilled because X comma Y is also element of R and Y comma X is also element of R, right? So this relation is symmetric relation. Now consider this second example, right? B is equals to 1 2 3, A relation R2 is equals to A comma B such that A lesser equals to B, right? So 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 3, right? So 1 comma 1 symmetric, right? Then 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1 is present? No. 1 comma 3, 3 comma 1 is present? No. 2 comma 3, 3 comma 2 is present? No. So this relation is asymmetric, right? This relation is not symmetric relation. This relation is known as asymmetric relation, right? Now next is transitive, right? Third property of relation is transitive, right? So a relation R on a set A is called transitive if whenever x comma y is element of R and y comma z is a element of R, then x comma z is a element of R. For x comma y comma z is a member of A, right? So for every x, for every y, and for every z, x comma y is a member of R and y comma z is a member of R such that x comma z is a member of R. So let us see one example. A is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 and the relation R1 is equals to A comma B such that A less or equals to B, right? So relation R become 1 comma 1 because 1 comma 1 layer, then A is equals to B, so it will fulfill this condition. Then 1 comma 2, so A is less than B, so the 1 comma 2 is also a member of relation R1. Then 1 comma 3, right? Then 2 comma 1, no, because if we take 2 comma 1, then A is greater than B, right? So this will not fulfill this condition. So 2 comma 1 will not part of the relation R1, right? Then 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 3. Okay. So now let us check this condition is fulfilled or not, right? So 1 comma 2, right? And 2 comma 3, right? 1 comma 2 and 2 comma 3, right? So 1 comma 2, 1 means x, right? And 2 y. So x comma y is a member of R and 2 comma so this is a member of relation R. Now let us check, sorry, Z. Let us check that x comma z is also a member of relation R1 or not, right? So here x is 1 and z is 3. So 1 comma 3 is also member of R1, right? So we can say that this relation is transitive relation, right? Now let us see the second example, right? Where b is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 and relation R2 is equals to a comma b such that where b is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, right? So relation R2 is equals to 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3 and 3 comma 1. What is successor? Successor means previous number, right? Always, sorry, successor means next number, right? So always value of B is the next number to A, right? So all the members of R2 are 1 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 3 comma 4. Now let us check this condition is fulfilled in this set or not. And 2 comma 3 as a YZ, right? Then 1 comma 3 is not part of the relation R2, right? So this relation is not transitive relation, right? Now next is equivalence relation, right? So equivalence relation declares or shows some kind of equality or equivalence. Right? If the relation satisfies all three properties, reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, which I have already shown, right? If any relation fulfill all three properties, that is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, then it is called an equivalence relation. What is equivalence relation? If some relation fulfill all three property of relation, that is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, then this type of relation is known as equivalence relation. Equals to relation is the equivalence relation because equality proves the required condition. Right? For reflexive, x is equals to x is true for all value of x. Right? For symmetrics, x is equals to y and y is equals to x is true for all value of x and y. And for transitive, if x is equals to y and y is equals to z is true for all values, then we can say that x is equals to z. So this is about the relation in mathematics sets. Right? Now, next is functions. Right? Now, what is function? Right? So, for that, let's understand some terminologies. Right? So, a relationship between two sets of numbers is known as a function. Right? If we have two sets of numbers and there is some relationship between these two sets of numbers, then this is known as function. Right? Function is the special kind of relation in which there is a relationship between two sets of numbers. Now, a number is one set is mapped to number in another set by function. So, in general term, we can say that a function can be defined as the relationship between two sets. That means using a function, we can map one element of one set to some other element of another set. Right? So a function is a relation, but a relation is not necessarily a function. Right? A function is a relation, but it is not necessary that every relation is a function. Right? Now let us see one example. Right? Now this tree grows 20 centimeter every year. So the height of the tree is related to its age using the function h of age is equals to h multiplied by 20. Right? If its age is 10 years, then height is h of 10 is equals to 10, 20 is equals to 200 centimeters. Right? So we can say that h of 10 is equals to 200 is like saying 10 is related to 200. Right? Okay. Now there are some basic terminology or notations, right, which used in function. Right? So first function notation is domain. Right? What is domain? Domain means values given as input to the function is called the domain of the function. Right? So function માં આપણે જે પણ input આપશું that is known as domain of that function. Right? Then codomain. Now what is codomain? Values that may possibly come out of a function is the codomain. Right? So એનું જે output હશે that is known as codomain. And next is range. Actual values that comes out of the function is called the range. Right? So let us see one example. Function f a to b for fx is equals to 2x plus 1. Right? Now for f1, f2, f3 and f4 we get some value 3, 5, 7 and 9. Right? So range of this function is fx is equals to 3, 5, 7, 9. જેનું actual values actual come out છે તે function. So that will become the range. Right? Now what is domain? જે આપણે એનું input આપીએ છે. Right? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. That will become the domain. And what is codomain? Codomain means values that may possibly come out. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4 આપણે input આપીએ છે. So એમાંથી possibly value કઈ આવી શકે? Between 1 to 10 because our function is 2x plus 1. Right? So 4 into 2, that is 8 plus 1. So આપણી value ક્યાં સુધી આવી શકે? Between 1 to 10. So that is become the codomain. Right? So for domain 1, value will be 3. For domain 2, value will be 5. Domain 3, value will be 7. Domain 4, value will be 9. So this will become the range of the function fx. Right? Now consider the relationship between relation and function. Right? So consider the division. So that is domain, that will become the input for our function cx, cy and cz. Right? And codomain, possible answers. Right? Possible values come out from this function. So that will be this. So this will become the codomain, student name. Right? So if relation 1 is not a function, since elements of the domain point to codomain. Right? A function નથી પણ એ multiple codomain ને point કરે છે. Right? Now relation 2. So that is student. Our input, our domain is student name. Right? અને કયા division માં છે? So this is possible values come out from this function. Right? Now relation 2 is a function. Since element of domain point to only one element of codomain. Right? આમાં શું થતું હતું? Domain છે એ multiple element ne point karto હતો, because it is not a function. Now if it is a function, then it will point only one element of the codomain. So that is the difference between relation and function. Right? Now different function type. Right? If the range of function and codomain of function are equal, then the function is said to be onto or surjective or surjection. Right? Now consider the example function f a to b fx is equals to x square, where a is equals to -2 -1 1 2 3 4 and b is equals to 1 4 9 6. Right? So we have we have input -2 -1 1 2 3 4. Right? અને એનું coordinates કયા કયા છે? 1 4 9 16. Right? So એમાંથી એ આન્સર આવશે અને એની રેન્જ કઈ છે? fx. So કઈ રેન્જ આવશે આપણી? 1 4 9 and 16. So that is equals to b. Right? So this is our domain and this is our coordinate. All the domain point to one single element, so that is equals to b. Right? So our codomain is b. Our domain is a. Right? And here our codomain of function is equal to range of function. Right? Here our codomain is equals to our range of function. So this type of function is said to be onto or surjective or surjection. This type of function is known as surjective function. Right? This is injective or one-to-one function. Right? So if function f a to b is injective or one-to-one function, if there do not exist two distinct x1 and x2 such that fx1 is equals to fx2. Right? So the function f a to b fx is equals to x plus 1 is a one-to-one function where a is equals to 1 2 3 4 and b is equals to 2 3 4 5. So here a and b. Right? So our function is x plus 1. So 1 plus 1 2, 2 plus 1 3 plus 1 4, 4 plus 1 5. Right? So this function is known as injective or one-to-one. Is if function is one-to-one and onto, it means આપણે જે આગળ જે બે previous function type જોયા, જો તમારું function એ બંને type નું હોય, then this function is known as bijection function. Right? Then this type of function is known as bijection function. Right? So if f is equals to a to b, fx is equals to x plus 1 and value of a and b is 1 2 3 4 5 and 2 3 4 5 6, and function value for function f1 f2 f3 f4 f5 is like this, right? Then a is equals to 1 2 3 4 5 and b is equals to 2 3 4 5 6. So this function is 1 to 1 and also on to, because it point to the single element or on the coordinate, right? So this function is known as Bijection function, right? Now next is vectors and matrices, right? Now what is vector? A vector U means a list of numbers, right? Or list of n tuples, right? So U is equals to U1, U2, U3, up to UN, where UI are called the components of U, right? Now, if all the UI are 0, then U is called the zero vector, right? Now, which operation you can perform on the vector? Addition, subtraction, and scalar multiplication, right? Now, next is you can another term in vector theory is equal vectors, right? Now, if there are two vectors, namely A and B, and if both vector contains the same number of components, and if corresponding components are equal, then vector A is equals to B, right? Or we can say that vector A and B are equal, right? અને ઝીરો વેક્ટર કોને કહેવાય? જ્યારે એના બધા component ની value 0 હોય, then it is known as zero vector, right? You can perform which type of operations on vector? Addition, subtraction, and scalar multiplication, right? Then next is matrices or matrix. So matrix A means a rectangular array of the numbers, right? So 3 cross 3 matrix will be represented like this, right? In square bracket, represent the matrix in row and column manner, right? You can perform addition, subtraction, and multiplication on the matrix, right? Now, zero matrix means if your matrix has all the zero entries, then it is known as zero matrix. Right? Next is identity matrix. If in matrix the main diagonal contains 1 1 1 and remaining entries are 0, then it is known as identity matrix. And square matrix, if the number of rows and the number of columns of any matrix are same, then we can say that matrix is a square matrix, right? Now next is linear equalities, right? Matrix addition, matrix multiplication, and transpose matrix, determinant of matrix, that all you learn in your mathematics, right? So we here detail માં તમારે કરાવવાની જરૂર નથી. Just you can remember that various operations that can be performed on matrix are addition, multiplication, and subtraction or and transposition, right? So next is linear equalities, right? So in mathematics, right, linear equality is a statement containing less than, greater than, less than equals to, greater than equal to, right? જે પણ સ્ટેટમેન્ટમાં આ બધું હોય એ બધા સ્ટેટમેન્ટને આપણે શું કહીશું? linear equality, right? Now inequality શાનાથી represent કરશું આપણે? less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, right? Now this is the example of inequalities, right? X less or equals to 1, x plus 5 plus 2z greater than 16, right? So this is the example of inequality. Now linear equations with one unknown, ax is equals to b, right? So solution is અહીંયા a ની વેલ્યુ તમને ખબર છે, b ની વેલ્યુ ખબર છે, પણ x ની વેલ્યુ ખબર નથી. So you can find the solution like this: x is equals to b by a. right? Then two equation with two unknowns, right? So here we don't know the value of x and y, right? And our equations are a1x plus b1y is equals to c1 and a2x plus b2y is equals to c2, right? And we don't know the value of x and y, right? So solution of these equations we can find with the use of elimination process, right? Or we reduce the system to a single equation to only one unknown. And now okay, this is not the part of your syllabus, so just let me. Mhm. Now to solve the linear equations, right? Uh, you can use the method as I said. If value equation is ax is equals to b, then you can find the linear equation solution is for this equation is equal to x is equals to b by a, right? Two linear equation hoy, then you can solve this such linear equation. In order to obtain the solution to a known, we have to consider the example in which we can use the elimination process, right? And which elimination process? Gauss elimination method, right? Already learned this Gauss elimination in Maths 4, right? So you can use that elimination method if you have two unknowns, right? So this is about linear inequalities, right? And equations, right? Now let us discuss the, so this is end of your chapter, right? So let us discuss which type of questions may be asked in your GTU exam, right? So questions may be like, what is an algorithm, X is, right? Is relation, explain equivalence relation, right? Then explain linear inequality, right? Of relation, right? જે આપણે reflexive ને transitive ને discuss કરીએ, right? Then another questions may be this what are the steps that need to be followed by designing an algorithm, right? So these are some questions which may only one questions will be asked, right? And generally it is what is algorithm, then explain બીજો કયો question પૂછાય છે mostly, what is algorithm, explain various properties of algorithm, right? Then what is relation, explain types of relation, right? Mostly આ ટાઈપના questions પૂછાય છે, right? So this is end of your first chapter, right? Next we'll start the new chapter, divide and conquer algorithm, right? That is chapter number 3 from your syllabus, right? Divide and conquer માં શું હોય છે કે whenever you found some problem, right? Divide and conquer is a one algorithmic strategy, right? હવે એમાં શું થાય છે, we if we have big problem, right? So આપણે શું કરશું, we broken that big problem into number of smaller sub problems, right? Then find the solution of that smaller sub problems, right? And after find the solution of that smaller sub problem, we again combine that all the solution, and finally we get the final whole solution. So that is divide and conquer, right? Divide કરશું અને પાછું એને combine કરશું. એક મોટો problem છે એને number of sub problem માં divide કરશું, એનું solution find કરશું, solution find કર્યા પછી એ બધા solution ને પાછું combine કરશું, and it will give you final solution, right? So that is divide and conquer strategy. Okay, so that will be start in the next lecture, right? So all of you write down your last two digits